Hey, I haven't vlogged for ages, so I thought I would vlog now. Even though I'm really tired and I should go sleep and have to get up early. Um, but there's just kind of a bit going on for me right now, and I just wanted to let some feelings out into like the ether. So I started like trying to date again. Like I don't know why. I do know why. I was like, I was like really thirsty, but like not just for like rando once sex. I wanted like just like some cuddly times as well, and like company and someone I could be friends with and stuff like that, but also sex. And so I was like, I will go on Bumble, and I will, because Bumble is good because guys can't message you, you have to message them, which means like you don't get that terrifying thing of like message after message from guys, and you never have to wonder, do I message them first? Because you have to. If you want to have a conversation with them, you have to. So that's good. It removes a lot of the uncertainty. Anyway, I went on there and I was, swiping away with my super thirsty fingers, and I swiped right on this guy. Right, I swiped yes on this guy, and like got chatting to him and stuff. Been on a few dates with him. That's kind of going well, but like starting dating again is always really scary for me because there's all these things that I get worried about. Like if I'm safe with the guy, and like if all kinds of things. I've had buttloads of therapy, like metric fucking buttloads. Um, and it's still hard every time I try and go out and start dating. I think as my life is kind of perfect, and I don't want to fuck it up, but also I need someone to squish my boobs. Um, and I'm kind of concerned because concerned is too big of a word, but I'm like a little thoughtful. Like, because he is poly, which means polyamorous. Fucking Google it. I'm not a sex educator. Um, and like I'm okay with that. Like I've met his partner and her other partner, and they're lovely, and it's all super communicative, which is good. But the reason that I'm kind of concerned again to, I don't know, something that is making me a little anxious is that my therapist said to me that people with anxiety like me, and people who have had like previous really bad relationship experiences like me, and people who have trauma in their past like me, tend to sometimes seek out like unconventional types of relationship because they kinds of relationship that have a lot of explicit communication in them, or like more defined and set boundaries in them. um and I was like, does that mean I'm doing this because anxiety? Does that mean I shouldn't be doing this? But I want to do this. This works well for what I want in my life right now. He's a nice guy. These people are nice. I can this you know feel like this is definitely what I feel like I want. I don't feel like I don't want it, but I'm concerned because maybe I want it because anxiety. And if I, am I should I be pushing myself to have really conventional relationships that make me uncomfortable so that I can sit with the discomfort and get through them, and sort of get, if I sit, I'm supposed to sit with the discomfort when something makes me anxious. I'm not supposed to run away from it. But I don't know what that means for me making relationships, because I'm not going to go and have a relationship I don't enjoy just to help me work through discomfort. I mean, sometimes discomfort is just discomfort. Like if I have a pebble in my shoe, I don't leave it there so I can work through it. Um, you know, I don't know. I'm like really nervous about that. Like when I had that conversation with my therapist, um, we were having that conversation specifically re kink relationships. Um, and how there can often be a lot of boundaries around them, and like how things tend to be explicitly discussed and planned and stuff. I'm like, The thing, I don't see explicit discussion as a bad thing. Like, it's nice to have someone who's like, hey, I'm checking in on you. How are you feeling? What are you thinking? You know, where are your feels at? I'm like, well, currently I think that all dogs are good dogs and bacon is bad. Did I do it right? Those are the feels I have right now. Those are all of my feels. Dogs are good. That's my default set of feels. Yeah, no, but it's really good. And like, I was socializing with some people that he knows, and I was like saying it was kind of good that there wasn't a big group of them when I went over, because sometimes I have a much bigger group, and we were board gaming. And they were like, oh, when it's a bigger group, we tend to just have a couple of rooms that people can go chill out in if they're like socially overwhelmed. And I was like, what? I can do that? Like, there's a place? Like, I've read about these places on the internet, and I've read about people doing these things, but I have never experienced being part of a community where people are like, yeah, when we have a party, we specifically put aside a spot where people can just go and like decompress. I'm like, holy fucking shit, is that real? But also, if it's real, should I do it? Or should I be, I do so much therapy. It's like, I don't know. Do all of this therapy to get myself out there and stuff, but it kind of comes as a relief to know there are communities and people out there who, if I am overwhelmed, they're like, it's okay, here's a place for overwhelmed people. I'm like, oh, that is good. Like, knowing that that exists makes me feel not scared to go there. Even if I might not even ever have to use that. But knowing that that's a thing makes me feel like fucking overwhelmed with joy. And I'm struggling a lot. I think this is part of a wider problem. Like, I started talking about it re-relationships, because that's kind of what's brought it up. But it's been kind of a wider problem for a little while. Like, I'm not supposed to avoid hard things, and so I don't avoid hard things. But surely if there's an avoiding hard things room at a party, it's okay to go there sometimes. Or it's like, this is not a coherent blog at all. Lucky I'm not a proper content creator. It's like with my body image stuff that I was working through with my therapist and my gender identity stuff. We did all of this work to help me like my boobs. But also I have a binder. Because sometimes I want to wear a binder. Sometimes I don't want to like my boobs. Sometimes I just want to be flat. Is that okay? Or am I just doing my therapy wrong? I haven't been back to therapy for a few months, and like, it's expensive, and I'm kind of rocking my life pretty hard. I'm doing pretty well, but I have these sort of questions, things that I don't know how to reconcile. I don't really want to have to run to my therapist every time I'm like starting any volume, like, manner of relationship either. I've been on like 4 or 5 dates with this person or less. Like, it's not a big deal. We're not picking out curtains or something. But it feels like a big deal because all of these questions start to come up with me, and I have the toolbox to deal with this stuff. But it is just the question, maybe I do need to go to my therapist and be like, can please has unconventional relationships, because I just like, I've kind of suffered in conventional relationships. Like, relationships, I don't really think monogamy either way is a big issue for me at this point in my life. But like, relationships that don't have that kind of communication in them, or relationships that are exclusively straight and vanilla, and they're monogamous, so if I need something that's unstraight and vanilla, I can't have it, and I just have to swallow those parts of myself forever. And I feel like less conventional relationship formats can make me happy, but yeah, what if I'm just enabling my own anxiety? And then part B of shit about which I am worried is, of course, like, I'm kind of hoping, as may have been like obvious earlier in this video, that at some point this guy is going to want to have sex with me, because like touchiness is really important to me, and like I'm really tactile, and I like the squishing and the scratches and the cuddles and the kisses and also the sex. And so then I have this thing that I always have of like, do I disclose that I have trauma in my past and that sometimes it has made sex difficult for me? Or do I just leave it? Because, like, I feel like when I disclose, even to the most understanding person in the world, it changes the way they see me, it changes the way they fuck me, and I just do not want that anymore. But in the unlikely event of me being weird, they're not gonna know what happened, and it's not good for them to be in the middle of a sex act and be like, well, you appear to be extremely still suddenly. Do we have a Medusa on the ceiling? I don't know. Like, why are you so still? Why so hyperventilate? Why so nightmare? Why so kick me? You know, they need to know, surely, if we're going to be intimate, that but it just doesn't happen that often. It might not happen at all. Oh. I just really want to not disclose just once and see how it goes and see how different it is. I don't even know if this guy actually is sexually attracted to me. Like, he seems to like touching me a bit, but does he fancy me? I don't know. I find it really hard to tell if a guy, like, if a guy's all consensual and stuff, I have no idea if they fancy me or not. Like, I can only tell they fancy me if they're just like forcibly sticking their hand places, and I'm like, oh, I guess this guy desires me. Could have asked, I guess. Would have been nice. I don't know. That's a sidebar anyway, whether he fancies me or not. I'm sure if he does, I'm sure I'll find out soon either way, so it's fine. Yeah, but to tell or to not tell, I don't fucking know. I just hate this. I just hate feeling uncertain and worried, and I hate anxiety. I hate having anxiety about this stuff. And I just hate not knowing if I'm doing my therapy right or not. Anyway, that was 13 minutes of waffle. Fucking waffle. But you know what? I'm not a content creator. It is fine. I feel better. Alright, night night. I love you. Bye.